Our final speaker in this segment is Juan Pablo Vargas de la Vega, who likes to be known as JP. He is the Managing Director of Galan Lithium Limited.
Thank you and good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be back here in Australia. I've been traveling so long, and actually I was counting how many days I've been back in Paris, 7 days this year. I spent a couple of months within Chile, Argentina, just came back from Europe. But I would like that picture to stay there, up there a little, because that speaks for itself what we've been doing. I'm the Managing Director and founder of Galan Lithium, and I would not be doing that without the support of a fantastic board and a fantastic team in Argentina. We're very proud of the work that we've done, and to get and see this picture, with the ponds of our Pablo ponds being there at Hombre Muerto, after 4.5 years of just having an idea just driving by. This is fantastic. I pinch myself. So I just want to experience excitement that it makes me being here and being able to show how much we've done. So, and I want to say thanks, Chris, for your words. Yes, I'm guilty of driving a Tesla now. And Coda won the Oscar. I hope you win the Cop Explorer of the Year next year. So fingers crossed, mate. Well, moving into who we are and what we're doing. So we are definitely in lithium. We've been doing things slightly different, but at a fast speed. So just not going to bore you with the disclaimers. So why Galan and what it makes a difference from the rest of most of the companies in Argentina? I believe that we're in the best salt flat that has a high grade and low impurity, and that setting help us to move forward. Not that it matters today in the environment that we live in. Copper prices are going crazy. We have pretty much 2 projects in Argentina, Hombre Muerto West, and you can see the numbers for the PEA study and the pricing update that we done last year. We have also a second project called Candelas, and again, Hombre Muerto salt flat. Our management, as I've just said, it's got lithium experience. People that work in Argentina, that work in Orocobre as well. People that know, the ins and outs and blood, sweat, and tears about being operating in the industry. And our board and management reflects part of that. So I'm just highlighting a few transactions, needless to say that the market is hot. But I just want to also show why the market is hot. If you look at our numbers, we've done an update based on an $18,500 a ton. So that gives us a fantastic credentials number in the billions. I would like to hire Dr. Evil to start saying billions and billions again. But importantly, this is a business. So we are here to give the best return on our shareholders. And the study that we have has got conservative prices. If you use the prices that last week, Allchem, which our neighbors just portrayed, the numbers in the NPV jumps. But importantly, the payback goes from 2 years and a bit that we're reflecting here to a year. And that's around $3,500 a ton. If you use the spot prices that are beyond $70,000, our payback is less than 6 months. So that's why the market is getting so hot and interested in lithium. And why is that? Because everybody knows we need to replace all combustion engines with electric vehicles. We haven't seen this in the last 100 years when the horses got retired. But this is a big picture in why the industry that you see in lithium, cobalt, and copper, and everything else that is reflecting, there's a scarcity of materials. And this is also a very compelling reason why it's an investment. Now, we have a long way to go, but we are getting steps by steps there. My commitment to make this happen is 0 to none, and I live and breathe and Galan. Now, this is a picture that shows you where we are in the lithium triangle in Argentina, and I will show you a bit on a zoom picture where our neighbors are. But just to mention, the Library Corporation has been producing lithium carbonate for the last 28 years. So if I could say that the lithium revolution starts in Argentina, why is that? If I bring you back, if you can remember, the first Sony handycams and those batteries were lithium from Argentina. So Sony batteries that we're using, those cameras, came from our neighbors. So Galaxy now is Allchem, and then we got POSCO. POSCO announced not long ago a commitment of $4 billion to develop their project to 100,000 tons, and also they are neighbors. So Just a quick snap where we are and why would I say that our setting is important. If you see chemistry, you see the impurities, you see it on the right, on the left axis, you got magnesium to lithium. So the lower you are in that axis, the cleaner you are in your setting. And then on the right is grade. We sitting standalone at Ombra Muerta West in our grade. It's fantastic, and I'll explain why we believe this there. The next slide talks about the similar thing, magnesium to lithium, but another impurity ratio, which is sulfate to lithium. And the closer you are to zero on that axis, the better you are. But there's not a coincidence that you can see a cluster right down to, right down to here. You see POSCO, you see Galaxy or Allchem, and then you see also Livent. So with that in place, it shows that the big companies put big money in projects that they got clean starting points. A bit about this is courtesy of SQM. We are using the numbers. We are doing our own ESG program. We are using Circular that you can see also within the stands. So we are coming out with our numbers. So we're borrowing this in the meantime just to explain how things are. But if you produce lithium carbonate from brine, you have a lower carbon footprint overall to produce carbonate, to produce hydroxide, and that's the main purpose of these slides. And that reflects as well the energy intensity of lithium being produced from brines. So a snap picture of about our company. We have a bit more than $300 million. We got close to $60 million in the bank. That allows us to do all the studies at Ombra Muerta West, at Candelas, and also Greenbushes that we'll touch in a minute. We highly held, importantly, to show that the top 50 shareholders, 64%. So there is a lot of interest coming out from our largest investors. In the board, I would like to highlight that I've got one of our board members here, Terry. So thanks, Terry, for being here as well. We got Daniel Jimenez, that is a key pivotal person in our company. He was a senior vice president of SQM. You don't find that type of people floating around in junior companies, and that's a reflection as why this company has got solid projects that got the potential to become a producer. Then now more to the point where we are the Ombra Muerta salt flat. You see to the west, we see the Ombra Muerta West, followed by Livent in red. To the north, you see where POSCO sits, then to the south, Allchem. Further south, you see the Candelas project. So that's the satellite pictures of where we are. And now this is a picture of our ponds that look when we did our PEA. There's an improvement from here, but what I'd like to highlight is that all the financial numbers that we have post and explain us why we believe that this is just the beginning of things to improve. Yes, we use conservative numbers, but even with conservative numbers, we have a very solid case going forward, and our strategy is trying to get to market as soon as we can. So showing the same thing with Candelas, strong, solid numbers again. The operating costs of these are below the $5,000 a mark, and that's important going forward. If the lithium market falls, both of our projects sit below the first half of the cost curve. So in other words, there has to be a really small lithium industry for us to be disappearing in the world of lithium. There you go, next slide. That's with the picture that I just mentioned. All this presentation, for clarity, is online. You can download it at your own leisure, and just this is for a taste. And I want to show you as well that our company compares very well against the peers, capital intensity, operating costs. So the usual numbers that you have to see. But in the world of lithium, none of this is that relative, because the bottom line, there's not enough lithium in the world as we stand, and any lithium project that can hit the market from the next 3-5 years, you will get pretty much a good return on the investment. So what we found initially from our Ombra Muerta West, and this is what we're doing today, we find that we have potential to improve our CapEx, potential to improve our OpEx. There is, as we disclosed last week, there is an exploration upside. We're currently sitting at 2.3 million tons. We believe that we can up it up that quite a bit. Then we have also seen that within all of the region, we have more space to put our ponds on the other side of the ridge. And this is important because if we were going to grow, if we want to have a solution, we have means and ways of doing things. As a personal note, I always think of plan B, C, and D. So I'm never prepared for just one plan. So I'm pleased to say that we got more ground now to look at more flexibility, more things to do. So things that we done all last year, we were testing. We were evaporating outside. At the lab, we took 20 cubic meters of brine to Chile. We evaporated them all. We have the brine. We have the results. We hit 6% concentration, and that's what we're trying to do in our brine, in our study. And why is this? Because we believe that our lithium chloride could be used as a commodity, as concentrate to be sold directly to. We identify 8 to 9 companies that are within Argentina that can potentially take our feed. So in other words, if this was copper, we'll be selling concentrate to 8 or 9 smelters that will be in operation in the future. So this does not mean that we cannot produce lithium carbonate down the track, but this is a starting point. We want to walk before we run. We want to get the project into cash flow. We want to take advantage of the market, and this is what we want to do. We understand that producing carbonate takes longer, is riskier. We'll deal with that risk down the track, but importantly, we want to get to market and de-risk our project as much as we can. So quickly, back to Australia, back to Western Australia directly. We have the Greenbushes South JV. We got a JV with Lithium Australia. We've been doing as much work as we can in there. We've done a soil sampling campaign. We just recently announced as well that we flew some airborne geophysics. We scare a few horses along the way. But why is that? Because we fly very low. And we're expecting results from that to generate targets and then to get the permits to go and hit the Greenbushes South. And fingers crossed, the importance of Greenbushes is that we identify that the mineralized fault that crosses Greenbushes comes into our ground. And this is why it's, in terms of, it is neurology, it is exciting, and just watch this space. So back to Argentina, this is where we are. We're busy. We just put the Pablo plant is being filled as we speak. We're drilling. We'll keep drilling. We have 2 rigs. We have our study finalized by the end of the year, and we like to think that H1 next year we'll have our production permits, and we like to think that all 2023, assuming that we have the funding, we're going to go and start construction. 24 is to finalize construction, to go into evaporation, and then 2025 to start producing lithium chloride concentrate and to sell that to the rest of the world. So the relationships in Argentina, they're going very well. Needless to say, everybody's investing there. Bosco and Livent and all came there. So that's a reflection of how good and solid our neighbors are, and they go full throttle there. So the permits have been given. So we got a very solid case going forward for ourselves. And with that said, well, I'd like to say thank you very much. And we have our stand, we have our geologists, and happy and excited to answer any further questions when you're free to see us. Thank you.